So what do we do now that the bailout bill is passed? Where should our focus be now over the next few
Prayer.
days and weeks?
No. Um, well, the first thing is there has to be a systematic and intense investigation and oversight about what Paulson does, Secretary of the Treasury Paulson. We've just given Paulson $700 billion to do with essentially as he wants. And so we're going to have to set up independent accountability mechanisms that investigate what he's doing and take a look at it. For example, he just arranged this deal where Citibank was supposed to take over Wachovia, with the federal government taking on some of the bad debt. Turns out that Wachovia could find a better deal from Wells Fargo with taxpayers paying nothing. We can't let Paulson get away with inside deals that are a bad deal for taxpayers, so he has to be monitored. The second thing is Congress is about to leave town for the election without doing anything for the real economy, having bailed out Wall Street. We're headed into a deep recession. The job loss is continuing and accelerating. It's going to get worse as we head into the fall. So we have to insist that Congress comes back after the election and does a real stimulus program for the real economy to put people back to work. And that means investment in alternative energy and rebuilding the built environment to make it more efficient. It means rebuilding our infrastructure in schools. It means money for extended unemployment benefits and aid to states and localities so they don't have to do more layoffs of police and teachers and what have you. This thing is going to get serious and it's going to get deep, and the Congress has to help Main Street, not just Wall Street. This bill is a bad bill. I would hope that when the Congress comes back, I guess that's the third step, that they make it a stronger bill, that they demand that taxpayers get an equity position in the banks that get bailed out, that they put real public oversight over the Secretary of Treasury, and that they stop buying bad paper on the bottom and simply buy an ownership position in the banks and help merge and purge the banks so that we don't have, so the ones that are insolvent in fact are shut down. We're a long way away for a good plan in this. At best, what the Congress has done is bought us some time. We're going to have to insist they come back and do it right.
This bailout bill, as I've written more than once in The Nation and on its website, is outrageous for many reasons that I think people know. But worse than that, it won't solve the problem. It won't reverse the degradation of the economy, sliding into recession, and it really won't stop the financial crisis. I think that's going to become clear rather quickly, even to the people who just passed this thing.
What lessons have we learned from the past couple of weeks that should inform us as we gear up for that next fight?
Well, I think two things. One is you saw that public outrage, letters and calls that were 200 to 1 against the plan, in fact got the House to vote against the plan in a way that no one expected. And you also saw the great strength of the Wall Street lobby. Once the stock market cratered and the Senate added the Christmas tree of benefits to different parts of the business lobby, they were able to turn that around and get the vote that they wanted to pass the bill they wanted. So we've both seen in the last week an expression of how powerful public opinion can be, and an expression of how powerful the entrenched lobbies, business and Wall Street lobbies, can be also. And that's the lesson we ought to learn. This is going to be a brutal fight, and the public has to stay mobilized and stay engaged in it, or we will truly get rolled in this process.
And so the politics of this moment is very important for people to stay tuned, don't back off and let it go, but stay in touch with their organizations and their elected representatives and keep pounding on them to explain why this is not an end to the story and why they must act again soon. Now that's not easy to do in our present circumstances. We've got a lame duck president who doesn't know what he's doing but still has veto power, and we've got members of Congress who just want to go home and campaign and hide their heads from public anger. Nevertheless, there are people in Washington and around the country mobilizing, awakening, alerting, thinking about how we get real solutions, and I urge people to stay close with those people and help them.